It is time for the daily edition of Litter Media Live on this, what is today? Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Tournament season, our minds always get kind of confused on where we are, when we are, and how we're there. But we are here live and in person in the Litter Media Loft. Good to have you here.
I was that way when I had the flu last week. I lost track of my days. It's like, okay, what is today? What is today? Because I hadn't been out of the house for 3 days. And
by the way, our buddy Stu Gardner says hi.
They told me that he was there?
He was there last night, yeah.
They said he was under the weather the game before that.
Yeah, he told me he's lost a lot of weight. He'd gone through an illness recently, and but he said, I made sure I hit that hospitality room. I'm going to hit it on the way out, too. He's 72 years old now. I was not aware of
he's
that.
well preserved. Stu's taking good care of it. Well,
Yes.
he's a pickleball man, and he was playing pickleball before I'd ever heard of it years ago. And I laughed. I said, "Okay, what is this real?" And he said, "No, this is a real sport." So,
Do you use a pickle when you play with it?
And now it's everywhere.
Yeah, and it's being dedicated in fashions where we're putting in a set of pickleball courts.
Yeah,
they're turning Ohio into Florida, I guess.
Yeah.
It seems like everywhere you go in Florida, there's a pickleball court.
Florida, it's all over the place. Yeah.
Still have yet to try and play pickleball. Now, Aaron Glandon, Mr. Hand 2 here, has, I believe, attempted to play pickleball. Is that
I've
correct?
played pickleball plenty of times.
Is that
Are
right?
you any good?
No, I'm really, really bad.
You're not an athlete, are you?
No, I'm not an athlete. I lack the athleticism.
Did you see the picture I sent out on X the other day of you doing some of your finest work?
I saw you emailed it to us. I didn't know you put it on X.
That went out on X
Oh, I
that
didn't
night
know
of the
that.
game.
I didn't know
Aaron
that.
Glandon doing some of his best work, sitting on the floor, looking around.
I saw it, and I looked at my wife, and I said, "Hey, Missy." And she just goes, "That boy."
I was just shocked that he didn't have a hot dog in his hand or something like that along with it. So,
Well, you can't hold a hot dog in your camera, right?
No.
You don't want to get them.
you would have set the camera on the phone. I think this was before the game started.
I mean,
so.
if something quick happened and you had to, you got them mixed up, and you're trying to take a picture with a hot dog, that wouldn't look good.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't get good results out of that.
No.
All right, coming up in a moment, news, weather, sports, and look at what's making news today in regards to this date in history. Sports related, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, so that's up ahead. But right now, I've seen 2 motorcycles out on the roadway today.
This is nice weather.
I like it.
This is nice. Sunny skies, although when I stepped out a bit ago, it was just a little overcast, but we think the sun will break through here later today with a high of 55. Some clouds Wednesday with a chance of a shower, a high 58, and again a chance of rain on Thursday with a high of 51. We're going to see temperatures drop back down into the 40s and then eventually the 30s, I think, over the weekend. So enjoy this brief spring fling. But I don't think we're going to see any snow or anything like that. It's just going to chill out a little bit.
Let's not turn back. Let's keep going forward into spring and not have any more of the snow stuff. I'd be okay with that.
And this, of course, we'll talk more about this. Actually, you guys will talk more about it tomorrow. Statehood Day is this weekend.
Yes.
And then the following weekend is Daylight Savings Time. We spring forward. I had some people say they thought it was the first weekend in March. No, it's March 9th. So.
I was totally oblivious to that. So I'm hearing this for the first time. So thank you for making sure I'm awake.
Yeah. We don't want you to be too early for church. This time you'd be too early for church, right?
I overslept Sunday, and so
you would be late. That's right.
I'm texting our Sunday school superintendent, which is also our pastor's wife, and I said, "Can you get somebody to cover for me? I've overslept. Slept right through both alarms." But I was up working on stuff all night, and I didn't go to bed till 6 o'clock in the morning.
Gotcha.
I thought, I'm going to get a couple of hours before I go to church. And I got a couple of hours plus. But still made it to church on time for the church service. All right. We're way beyond what we need to do in the way of our time frame for telling you about news. It's on the way next. But first, we want to tell you about Haynes Total Health Care Center. chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. Those are important things to help you have a well-balanced life. And if you need chiropractic help, I suggest Haynes Total Health Care. Make sure you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. Takes you to their website where you can learn more. That is hayneshealth.com. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number, save a life. Click on this ad at littermedia.com and it takes you to an informational page where you can learn more about the Bean Foundation. While you're at Litter Media, make sure you take a look at all the stories we have for you. We've got a lot of sports this is that 2 and 3 week period where it is just, there's something happening every night. And my wife can't wait until March to really be over.
So she actually wants to see you.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Amazing.
Yeah. And I've often said, why don't you go with me to a game or two? No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So she really don't want to see you.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh, well. Here's headlines for today. All Pickaway County students in grades K through 12 are eligible to enter the poster contest. Habitat is where, or home is where the habitat is. This is put out by the Soil and Water Conservation District each year. If you'd like to participate and you're in that age category, you need to get your poster sent in to the Soil and Water Conservation District in Pickaway County by no later than 4:30 p.m. Friday, April 11th. Additional details can be found on their website at pickawayswcd.org/poster after poster it's dash contest.
.html.
Yeah.
This is that time of the year where syrup is starting to pour, and it's making its way out. This March, 4 Ohio State parks will host maple syrup festivals, inviting visitors to experience the age-old craft of sugaring while enjoying the variety of outdoor activities and delicious maple treats. Hocking Hill State Park, Maple Sugaring in the Hills, takes place a week from this Saturday, March 8th, and Sunday, March 9th, noon until 4 p.m. And we're springing forward, so don't forget that weekend. You want to make sure that you don't miss out an hour of the maple syrup festivals that are going on. I recall this would have been 3 or 4 years ago, getting ready to do a feature on the Zane Trace sausage breakfast with the FFA. And so I'm talking to the kids in the industrial arts area there at Zane Trace High School, thinking I was going to have Jennifer Johnston with us to be a part of that interview. She says, no, I've got to go out and check on the trees. Yeah. She was out collecting maple syrup, which they use during their pancake and sausage breakfast.
When I spoke out there this past summer to their group, they gave me a bottle of syrup. I'm not a syrup guy on my pancakes, so we haven't broke the bottle open yet. But Laura was trying to get through a previously purchased bottle before she tapped in no pun intended, to that one.
Tap it twice.
So Zane Trace kids, we're gonna try that.
But Mike probably won't.
Well, I might put my tongue to it. I might like it. Who knows?
You'll like it.
I may get hooked.
You'll like it.
Try it. You'll like Mikey.
Mikey?
Try it. You'll like it.
If you've never seen the Life cereal commercial, that's what
Aaron's
we're
sitting over there like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. That thing was 30 years before he was alive.
That's correct.
So.
Ohio University Chillicothe will host an expansive ideas presentation titled The Changing Night Sky with Associate Professor of Instruction Michael Koop on Wednesday, March 5th at 5 p.m. in the Bennett Hall Auditorium. For much of human history, the night sky was thought to be eternal and unchanging. Well, now we know that the universe is constantly changing, with galaxies colliding, stars forming and exploding, and a myriad of other celestial events. So check that out at Bennett Hall on March the 5th.
This Friday is when the planets align.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't looked up in the sky to see all that starting to align, check it out when there's no clouds.
Is that Aquarius?
The age of Aquarius?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I just remember the song,
Yeah.
something about moon and stars aligning and all that, yeah.
Aquarius. Commercial Point Community Men's Club and Ladies Auxiliary Chicken Noodle Dinner is coming up on March 9th, 11:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. It's 26 West Scioto Street. Cash and card accepted. This is my old stomping grounds. This is where I went to elementary school in Commercial Point, Ohio. And we didn't have cute chickens like that.
I was going to ask, did they have chicken noodle dinners all the time?
Oh, they had all kinds of stuff when I was a kid. I mean, they had Halloween nights, a festival. They turned the whole school into basically a haunted house one year, which was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. But we will not go into the horrors of what elementary life was like for this young individual.
Now, this is Commercial Point Men's Club, the Ladies Auxiliary. Where's the Monroe Men's Club? Where's Monroe in Pickaway County?
I'm going to guess that's in Monroe Township.
Because they're the ones that always had the gospel sing at Westfall High School.
So that would be, I think, Westfall School District is made up of like Muhlenberg Township, Monroe Township, and I can't think of the other one. Commercial Point's Scioto Township. Then you got Hamilton, which is or Harrison, that's where Asheville is, and you have Walnut Township. So those are the ones that make up Taze Valley schools. So yeah, I think Monroe's down in that part of the
It's kind of neat that in 2025 there's still some of these community clubs that still get together and do things in their community.
My brother was a part of the Commercial Point Men's Club for a long time, and involved with they participated in the softball for kids. Yeah. And so he coached his daughters in softball, which is amazing because my sister-in-law, Janice, taught at Scioto Elementary for her entire career, and her daughter, Lisa, has been teaching at Scioto Elementary for her entire career, and her oldest daughter just committed to Capital University this week. So that long line of capital education continues for the girls in that part of the family. So congratulations to Kate, going to be part of the Purple Nation they have up there. All right, coming up, a look at sports for you next. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Make sure you check in with Accurate if you have a need for the heat and you're getting ready to turn on the air conditioner here in a few weeks. Why isn't it working? Well, maybe you need to have that gold plan that Mike has, where they come and take a look at it all the time. Make sure that it's ready to roll.
They come and bring me gold.
They do. You'll feel like you're golden when you have Accurate take care of your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Your trusted comfort advisor. Click on this ad anywhere you see it. It takes you right to their website, AccurateHVAC.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
With these warmer temperatures, you can probably hear it now.
Get out there and clean that shed.
Well, if that's what you're hearing in your home, Scioto Valley Dumpsters can help save your marriage. Give them a call at 253-8389. They'll bring you an orange dumpster for that cleaning out the shed, the barn, the house, whatever it is. Maybe it's all your belongings because she just kicked you out of the house for not getting this taken care of earlier. Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Again, a free quote at 253-8389.
I was picturing Glenn Beck quoting his wife, Tiffany?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Anyway, he would always go, and Tanya. And she sounds nothing like that whatsoever. She's got a nice voice, but every time he would talk about it, and I thought, how can you walk into your house after talking like that?
Yeah.
Time for sports, and we start with last night's recap. The Zane Trace Pioneers picked up a win. They advance on to Friday's tournament over in Athens at Ohio University at the Convo. And the Circleville Tigers had their season come to a close. 48-34 is New Lexington. Man, they were everywhere on the floor last night. The connection we saw between the quarterback and the wide receiver on the football field in the playoff game against Logan Elm was intact on the basketball floor. And Isaiah Stevens was the quarterback. He threw for 3,078 yards. 1,500 of that went to Bentley Hansen. They connected for 24 touchdowns during the season. Well, in last night's contest, they were the top two scorers of their team. One had 19 points, the other had 16 points, and they hit timely shots, but they were also always around the basketball. It was a frustrating night for the Circleville Tigers, just due to the impact. And I talked with Isaiah after the game. We had wrapped things up, and he was talking with Zanesville Radio that was there. And I said, Isaiah, I got to ask you, what's this connection between you and Bentley? And he says, we've been together since we were 6 years old. We know each other's movements. We know where we're going to be, and we just have come. It's one of those fantastic relationships that you know is going to be a long-lasting one throughout the rest of their lives. Right. So congratulations, New Lexington. And Circleville ended its season at 14-10. New Lexington improves to 14-10, and they will head on to take on Meggs Thursday night.
Who is a very tough squad this year.
That
Zane Trace win over Ironton. The Pioneers were down by, 10 or 11 at one point?
It never looked like they were out of it, though.
Yeah, but it was double digits.
Yeah.
And they came back and won it.
Yeah.
So they go to the Convo on their game's Friday at 6:50.
They didn't have a lead until about a minute left in the game.
Yeah. So congratulations, Pioneers. Litter Media Radio tonight. We'll be back at Southeastern's Larry Jordan Gymnasium for Boys Division IV District Semifinal action. SVC champion Unioto taking on Fairfield Union, and that is an 8:30 game time. So for those of you going to the 6 o'clock game, 6:15, whatever, they clear the gym between contests. You got to have a different ticket to get you into game 2 if you want to see it compared to game 1. But we'll be there for the play-by-play with airtime at 8:20 in case you can't get to the game tonight. And tomorrow is a doubleheader. I'll be up at Zanesville for Unioto Lady Shermans and Avon Lake in their regional semi. 5:50 airtime for a 6 o'clock tip. And for those of you Bloom Carroll fans, we won't be broadcasting this, but the Lady Bulldogs are the nightcap at Zanesville on Wednesday, and you'll be over at Jackson.
Correct.
For a doubleheader. That
Bloom Carroll team will be playing Akron St. Vincent St. Mary, who's very good.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a long night. But Bloom Carroll could pull off an upset. Huntington will be taking on Peebles. That will be at Jackson High School tomorrow evening. I know we had the graphic incorrect yesterday. There's a long story behind it, and we'll just not go into it. We do know we'll be there tomorrow night with the Huntington Huntsmen at Jackson against Peebles. I was telling BJ, I don't think I've done a Peebles broadcast since 1983.
Yeah.
It's been a long time in between. In fact, Gary Newsom did the broadcast with me. This was when the Paint Valley fans were complaining because we had Dwight Garrett as my color man.
I think when I had Jake Grooms, they complained about Jake. So they complained all the time about it.
We love you, Bearcat Nation. We love you.
By the way, that Peebles team shot 50% from the three-point arc in that Southeastern win, and still Southeastern was within a whisker.
Rick Urig's got away, though. And if Huntington plays like I saw them play Paint Valley earlier this year, he'll just keep sending in the troops, and they'll keep coming, and he'll out-people you.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things
play. Well, they beat
out.
a good Sims Valley team. Sims Valley was like 16-5 or 17-5, so go Huntsman. Also, the High School Coaches Association District 14 named their all-district team. That's a long list, folks. For District 14, they don't have a Division 1 or 2 team, so it's Divisions 3 through 7. You can find the full list of all the players of the year, coaches of the year, and the individuals on first, second, third, and honorable mention on that list.
We've got a lot of people we've known on this list as well, so congratulations to all those. This past year, Uniota's boys' 8th grade team has been out of this world. They had a winning point spread per game. This is what we were told, 36.8 points per game.
Ouch. And
the starters probably played 2.5 quarters each game.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that is cranking. And I'm going to guess is homegrown talent. So that being the case, Matt Combs is probably licking at the chops, waiting for these kids to move up to the high school ranks. So congratulations to the Shermans on the junior high level.
Cavs at Magic tonight, and the CBJ after that 4-nation face-off, which, by the way, Canada won over the U.S. in overtime. CBJ in action at Dallas tonight. So good luck to those Cavs and those CBJ.
Let's hope the Blue Jackets have the success they had against Chicago the other night. It was a 5-1 win, and they just came out blazing. And this weekend, isn't it, that they have the game at Ohio Stadium?
Correct.
Against
in
Detroit.
So
that should be fun.
Yeah, they're in contention this year, where last year it was like they're actually in playoff contention. So
they with the win over Detroit last night put them, or not last night, but the night before. Did I say Detroit? Chicago. They're like 2 points out of the last playoff spot. So every point counts. When you get like 2 points for a win, you get 1 point for a tie, and it's tough to figure that stuff out if you don't follow it all the time.
And I know it's exhibition season. Nobody really gives a hoot because it doesn't mean anything. But the Reds did beat the world champion Dodgers 8-1 yesterday. I was at a funeral, and most of my family in the Cincinnati area were up, so I was asking them what they thought with Terry Francona on board, and there's high hopes that this may be the year they can do something.
His first 2 at-bats, Ely De La Cruz, home runs. Yesterday, Austin Hayes, is it?
I think that's right.
He steps up. He's one of the late signees from the free agency. He steps up, hits 2 home runs, has a double, and 6 RBIs in that win against the Dodgers.
Wow, yeah. Hopefully it'll be a fun year to watch.
It was on season. MLB Network, I think, yesterday, and before I left to go to the game, my wife actually turned it on. She was watching a little bit of the Reds. Of course, you don't know anybody that's playing because they have number 87 on first base and number 78 over here, and it's just not the same as we normally see. But I got a good feeling with Terry Francona. for this year.
The question I get everywhere I go, how can I watch the Reds this year? Because Bally Sports is no longer.
Yeah, now it's FanDuel Sports.
But we were told earlier that they would still be on the same carriers that they were last year. So if you had DirecTV, it'd be the same. If it's Spectrum, it'd be that whatever that channel is. So I guess that's correct. That's what we're hearing.
And if you're an Annie Sabo fan, she's no longer part of the crew. So not sure what happened there. But that's kind of like Jeff Piccaro. He just disappeared, you know. But Brian Gleason-Shaw will be there.
John, what's John's last name? The play-by-play announcer?
Sadak,
yeah. And Chris Welsh, Jim Day, not Chillicothe Jim Day, but
thank goodness.
They're all back. And Cowboy and Chris Welsh, they're all back this year.
Yes. So. The Cowboy. All right, up ahead, this date in history. Hit that fight bell. Ding, ding. Details next.
Check out Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
And now our educational piece of the day, this date in history.
1964, 22-year-old Cassius Clay. Yeah, that was his name at that time, later Muhammad Ali.
He's got that look about him like, I'm coming at you. You can't stop me. I'm coming at you.
I'm getting you.
No, hold me back. I'm going after him.
Cassius Clay, only 22 years of age, shocks the odds makers by dethroning world heavyweight boxing champ Sonny Liston in a 7th-round technical knockout. Former champ Joe Louis called it, quote, the biggest upset in the history of boxing, unquote. The dreaded Liston, who had twice demolished former champ Floyd Patterson in one round, was an 8-1 favorite. Can you imagine putting money on that deal? However, Clay predicted victory, boasting that he would, quote, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, unquote. And he knocked out Liston in the 8th round.
We grew up in an era that was fantastic because of Howard Cosell and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
They had some of the best conversations. And sometimes you would think they were joking around, and other times it would be like super serious. It's like, are they putting on being super serious or no?
Yeah. I think there was a great, of course, again, he was Cassius Clay, then he changed his name. Muhammad Ali was a very caring individual.
Yeah.
And people that saw him on his more gentle side said he was just tremendous. He'd give to the community, would spend time, out on the street playing with kids and stuff like that. But I think he and Howard had a good relationship, and a lot of that was just show. Whenever he would try to take Howard's toupee off his head, and I think that would make Howard mad, but it was all intended in fun. So,
yeah. That was the biggest upset until Buster Douglas took down Mike Tyson in Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
I recall getting news on that, and I'm like, because unless you had pay-per-view, you weren't.
Dom Taberi was doing the Saturday night news. Now, the fight was in Tokyo.
Right.
And he was just going off the sports, and he said, I got to double check this, but we just heard that Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. And he said, that's great if that really happened. And, yeah, it did.
I was working at Sunny 95 at the time in Columbus, and Buster Douglas, the parade, the whole deal, he was at the radio station and everything. It was, our guy did it.
Yeah,
you
Columbus,
know?
Ohio.
And then Buster bought a home just in Skunk Holler. It was, he bought this house that was at the corner of 316 and 104, which, was my neighborhood when I was a kid. Never saw Buster at all, but it was an investment that he made with some of the money from his Tokyo fight. But then he wised up and put a residence in Florida because they didn't have state tax.
Ah, yeah, right.
So, yeah. I think Rush Limbaugh was big on making sure that I'm going to move to Florida, get rid of the state tax thing. So, all right, that's it for today's program. You are on radio tonight, you and BJ, and that'll be Litter Media radio broadcast with Unioto and Fairfield Union. Give my best to Travis Schaefer when you're down there.
I'll do that.
And you can to Matt Combs also. You can tell him I said hi.
Dan who?
That's right. By the way, if you missed this interview, we talked with Ryan Davis, the head coach of Meg's Marauders, at halftime last night. It was an interesting interview. If you want to go back and find that, just go to the story on the Zane Trace and Circleville recaps. You'll find that broadcast in there. You'll find all the broadcasts that we've been doing all on our website as well. In fact, I just realized I need to add some of those to it. Just click on Litter Media Radio at littermedia.com, and all of our basketball broadcasts we've done, except for the last couple of days because I forgot to put them on the website, but our regular season games, all that stuff is available for you to listen to again if you missed it the first time around. That's a look at the show today. Thank you. We're back at it again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.